Hey guys, it's me, John Avenger, once again, and welcome back to Ensemble Movie Month. And tonight I'm going to review a bad freaking sequel to a remake that I didn't care about in the first place. I've seen the original, it's a classic movie from the 80s, and this is the 2012 abomination called Wrath of the Titans. Give me a second because I need to take this all in. So let me get this straight, Warner Brothers. Yeah, you did this. So this is what they did before the DCU. You make a sequel to a remake that people did not like, that made money, and you do it even worse the second time. And you get rid of half of the actors from the first film. Alexa Davalos, she played Andromeda in the remake. She's not in this movie. She's replaced by Rosamund Pike, freaking block of wood actress from freaking The World's End and Jack Reacher 1 and a bunch of other stuff. I told you guys she cannot act. Gone Girl was a fluke. She did not win the Oscar for that. She deserves not to win, and she should never act again in these movies. Second, you also avoid continuity. It's not Last Jedi avoiding continuity. It does take place 10 years later, so I can cut it some slack, but it has none of the feel of the remake. And I've seen the remake. It's called the original Clash of the Titans. It's the same freaking movie, just with bad CGI, none of the heart of the original, and Perseus has a freaking haircut, a crew cut in that movie. And I swear, the only good things in this movie are the guy that plays Ares is decent. Edgar Ramirez, he's trying. The effects look decent, and the film is only 90 minutes, so it's not very long. If you hear that, that's fireworks outside because people are shooting it out. But everything else is wasted potential. Liam Neeson and Bill Nye and freaking Ray Fiennes, they're in this movie and they do nothing. You're wasting actors from better freaking movies. This movie felt like a freaking diet version of Thor and Lord of the Rings. No heart, no sense of humor, terrible freaking casting decisions. You have people here that should not be in front of a camera. Sam Worthington is doing his best impersonation of Christian Bale's Batman, and Jason Statham. He's like this the whole movie. He sounds like this. It's freaking terrible. I don't know how he got a job in Avatar. That movie was boring, and he's the reason why. This movie was just as boring. Even though it's 90 minutes, it's a drag. Nothing happens. There's a creature fight in the beginning. Perseus is fighting this two-headed creature, and he kills it. And then the rest of the movie, he's trying to be with his son, and then he has to go on a mission to save his son and bring and kill Kronos at the end. This giant creature of flames and lava and uh, brimstone. But the movie's dull. Nothing happens. It's just a bunch of freaking things happening. It's people are talking, it's boring, then a creature appears. Then people are talking, it's boring, and a creature appears. And rinse and repeat, and that's the whole freaking movie. There is no plot. This movie got a 26% on Rotten Tomatoes from the critics and 49%, the same rating as the Last Jedi from audiences. People didn't like this movie, Warner Brothers. They fucking hated it. That's why the third movie never freaking happened. You know what's better than this? Thor. Thor Ragnarok. Thor the Dark World. Even freaking the Percy Jackson movies are better than this. Both the original and the sequel. Because those are fun kids movies that know what they are. And they don't have to freaking rehash something from the past. Because I never read the books. And you know what this movie reminded me of? But in a worse way? I'd rather watch this freaking movie. This is how you do Wrath of the Titans and Clash of the Titans, the remake, the right way. A badass female lead, good effects for the most part, except for the fight at the end. The God of War Ares, who is a way better villain. He's better here than he was in the freaking Wrath of the Titans. There, he has, he's the actor's trying, but he doesn't have enough screen time to be considered a badass. And this movie was longer, more epic. It had a sense of humor. It was fun to watch, and it has a great score, and it has a great director behind her. So that's why this movie worked. And this is done by the same freaking company, Warner Brothers. So there's no excuses. This movie is dull. Everybody in this cast sucks, like except for Liam Neeson, Edgar Ramirez, and Ray Fiennes. They're the only ones trying. Everyone else sucks. Sam Worthington sucks as Perseus. Henry Hamlin, he is not. Rosamund Pike, already said it. Block of wood Brit, can't do anything for me. You also have freaking Lily James, who the only reason I even watched this movie is because she dies in it. And I was like, when she died, I gave an applause because I'm like, yeah, you're a shitty actress. I hated you in Baby Driver. You should have died in that too. You have Toby Kebbell. I never liked this guy. I hated him in The Sorcerer's Apprentice and Fan Snore Stick. He is a horrible actor. He's doing his best Johnny Depp impression from Pirates of the Caribbean. It's like, I'm going to talk like this. I'm the navigator. He talks like that for the whole freaking movie. And he even looks like Jack Sparrow. He has facial hair and long locks. It's the same freaking thing. Why was he in this movie? Bill Nye, he plays this old guy with one bad eye, and he opens a door for these guys so they can enter the temple or whatever. The effects looked awful in that scene. It's like they're trying to use the like the when the you remember the Matrix when Neo was in the Matrix and the freaking they showed the things passing him by. It's like that, but with freaking gravelstone, and it looks horrible. It looks like a bad video game. The Pegasus is like black in this version. They have a reference to the original freaking movie and they do nothing with it. They have Bubo. He was the robotic owl in the original film that was done by Ray Harryhausen. Great stop motion effects, and here he looks like a piece of trash. It's that oh we got to reference the original. Let's reference Bubo and just completely waste him. Oh my god! Why are sequels to movies so shitty nowadays? Especially sequels that are not done by Marvel. Yeah, every single sequel that comes out from Warner Brothers or from freaking Disney or Lucasfilm or freaking even Universal, we get these four sequels that we didn't ask for. Is this worse than Underworld Awakening? No. That movie was insulting because it could have been something different. And you bring back the lead actress so she can phone it in, and you have horrible CGI. And even though it's shorter, it ruined the franchise. This was ruined from the start. It's a shitty sequel to an already bad remake that I saw the trailer. That was enough for me. The CGI looked terrible. Here, it's adequate, but it's not a good movie. The story is non existent. Just go see this movie again. Go see Lord of the Rings, all three of them. Go see The Hobbit. Unexpected Journey came out the same year as this, and it's a way better freaking movie. And it's way longer, but it's epic. And Martin Freeman is a great lead, and the effects are great. And the movie it doesn't have the slow pacing of this movie. It's not boring ass deserts for like 90% of the film. Getting tired of that. Every single movie that is in a desert that it has to be there for hours, it's just it feels like you're never going to get off. The freaking Mummy 2017 had a desert. The Force Awakens had a freaking desert. You know, this movie has a desert. It's just, I'm tired of deserts. They're boring. Boring. In A New Hope, it worked because that movie was the start of something even better. And nowadays, it's like we have to put a desert in everything because reasons. Because, oh, deserts are so interesting, aren't they? Fuck you, movie. I hate this movie. It's so freaking terrible. It's not one of the worst sequels I've ever seen, but it wasn't necessary. We didn't need a sequel to Clash of the Titans. Just see the original. That movie is amazing. The 1981 classic film, that is a masterpiece compared to this freaking movie. Jonathan Liebesman should just retire. He did this, and he did Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Beginning, which is a prequel, and then he did the Ninja Turtles movie from 2014, which I didn't want to watch because the CGI looked terrible on the turtles, and Megan Fox can't act. His last good movie was Battle Los Angeles. That was awesome. It has a lot of action. It's fun, and it's not in a boring ass desert for 2 hours like this. I think there's like one scene in a desert, but it's not the whole freaking movie. Plus, it has aliens in this. Here, you have giants. You have a giant two-headed creature. You have freaking Hades, who doesn't do anything in this movie. Liam Neeson doesn't do anything till the end. And Philmaster Adams said that Andromeda's a badass in this movie. She doesn't do anything. She gets knocked on her ass by Ares. She's hiding from a freaking giant, and then she's fighting a little bit at the end. She is not the girls from Wakanda in Black Panther, or Black Widow, or freaking Wonder Woman herself. She's a block of wood. Everything she's in it, she sucks. No matter what accent she's using. I've told you guys this since the first year I've been on YouTube. I don't care about actors from the UK, from the snoring freaking countries of Wales or freaking England or Scotland or Ireland. Most of them can't act. Liam Neeson can act because he has a good dramatic voice. And he's great in The Phantom Menace. Here, he has nothing to do. Ray Fiennes has nothing to do. And freaking Bill Nye has nothing to do. And then the way he dies at the end is so freaking stupid. I'm like, oh my god, just end already. And then they're doing this sequel bait ending where Perseus is giving his sword to his son, and it's like, you're gonna take the reins now. Then the movie ends, and there won't be a third one, guys. I'm glad this movie bombed in the U.S. It's a horrible sequel. It's a terrible fantasy adventure, action adventure. It's horrible. Like even the action sequences, they don't have any oomph. There's blood, but there's not a lot of it. It's just like a diet version of Wonder Woman 300 and Lord of the Rings. It has none of the epic feel. The final battle is this grand scale battle against Kronos and these other creatures, and it falls flat on its face. I'd rather watch The Mummy Returns again. I got to see that movie again because I'm getting tired of these half-baked sequels that are too freaking boring. They're always in the desert. They have nothing to do. Some of the cast has nothing to do, and then you have these actors that just don't appeal to me. I've said that since the freaking beginning of my adventures here on YouTube. If it has a foreign cast from the UK, it's usually doomed, unless it's the prequels or the original Star Wars or Lord of the Rings. But even then, they had American actors in it. Here, you have nobody. Because Edgar Ramirez is from Venezuela, Sam Worthington is from Australia. The rest of the cast are from either Ireland or from England. You can't freaking act, people. Game of Thrones is never going to be for me. If it's like this, but for 7 seasons, I'll be asleep by the first season. Because I can't handle that for 2 hours. It boils my freaking blood. I have American pride. I can't infuse that with these people, these English muffins. I can't. That's why I hate Daisy Ridley so much. It's not just because of the new Star Wars. It's because she's soulless and boring, and she has no expression on her face. And the same thing with Felicity Jones. She's like this for the whole freaking movie. No expression on her face. See, I can do expressions. My face can do expressions. Stop giving me these actors that are phoning it in. I swear, Perseus in this movie has a freaking forced romance with Andromeda. In the original, it's a beautiful love story. He's doing everything in that movie to be with her. In this version, he doesn't give a shit about Andromeda. She's just an afterthought, and then he gives her a big wet one at the end. I'm like, dude, you don't have chemistry with her. Chris Pine and freaking Gal Gadot had chemistry that was boiling over compared to these two. They had chemistry that was almost like, well, like, wow, they actually work well together, and they actually have some spark, and they have good chemistry, and their kiss was sweet and romantic, and it was, you felt something. With this, I felt, oh wow, you're kissing her because the script says so. Fuck this movie. I hate Wrath of the Titans. If Sean, oh, why didn't I see the original, the remake? I saw the remake. It's called the original Clash of the Titans. Same story, same characters. They just added new shit in the remake, and then in the sequel, they got rid of half of the stuff from the first movie. And I didn't even care for the casting in the remake anyway, because you had Alexa Davalos. I don't care about her. And then at least she's Greek. I can at least give her that. And then you have freaking Gemma Arterton, who I also can't stand. I'm sorry, this movie sucks. If you like it, fine. I'm not going to say you're an idiot. I blame the director and the writers and freaking Warner Brothers for pumping out this forced sequel. My God, if the next decade has a bunch of these movies, I'm going to stop going to the theater because I'm really tired of this. The MCU already proved you can make tons of money and freaking get fan appreciation if you make the movie the right freaking way. And this movie does it all wrong. Fine, there's a couple of shots in the movie that don't look terrible. The CGI is adequate. Some of the actors were trying, but it's not enough to save this movie. This movie sucks. It's a blight on the original Clash of the Titans from 1981. But that's enough for me. I just have nothing else to say about Wrath of the Titans. It's a movie that should have never existed in the first place. Easily, this could have been on Netflix if it existed at that time, if they had movie content at that time and TV shows. But yeah, I don't want to see a Clash of the Titans 3. I don't care if it's called uh, Clap of the Titans or Rage of the Titans. I don't care. I'm done with the Titans. I'm sick and tired of the Titans. Just give me the original, and I'm good with that. Instead of insulting me with this boring ass sequel that has nothing to do, that has none of the grace and charm of the original film, or the freaking remake, which only made money, like I said, because of the 3D and because Sam Worthington at that time was a thing because of Avatar, but the guy's lost it. The Avatar sequels aren't going to save you, Warrington. Still can't make you act because you talk like this in every movie. You got no reaction. You look bored out of your mind. And he gets his ass kicked a lot in this movie. Half the time he's getting knocked down from Ares and all these other creatures, and I'm like, wow, you are not a badass at all, dude. And this is a male lead. Yeah, give me Chris Hemsworth any day in Thor. He rocks the socks off in those movies, all of them, and the Avengers films, because he has presence and a freaking great ass voice, and he's a manly man. This guy is just he's a dumbass with a freaking without the haircut from the last movie. Yeah, screw Clash of Wrath of the Titans and Clash of the Titans, the 2010 remake. They can both suck it all the way down. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I'm glad I finally did a rant. I had to do it because I didn't want to review this next month. I want to try to be more calm in June because May was way too freaking long. And I saw a lot of boring stuff. A lot of the Arrowverse this year, episodes of Legends of Tomorrow and The Flash did nothing for me this year. It was a lot of bad comedy, bad writing, and gay agendas up the ass, which I told you I'm tired of. But anyway, screw Wrath of the Titans. If you saw the remake, don't see this one. It's more or less it's even more boring. I can't believe critics like this. Some critics on YouTube actually gave this movie a pass. They should have shit on it just like the remake because they both suck. See you guys later.